Alright folks, to make our pizza we're going to need a crust. And for our crust we have all the ingredients that we need. I have a cup of warm water, a 1/4 ounce of dry active yeast. We're going to add that to our warm water. The warm water helps activate our yeast. We're also going to give our yeast a little food. 1 teaspoon of sugar, then we're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We have 2 cups of whole wheat flour and a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. Here I have a tablespoon and a half of some roughly crushed fennel seeds. I didn't break them fully apart because I like to add them in there mostly whole to add texture and flavor to our dish. Alright, we're going to take a rubber spatula and fold this together until it's malleable, and then we're going to use our hands to kind of form a ball. Now that we've got our flour nice incorporated with our liquids, I have 2 tablespoons of margarine that I diced when it was cold, kept in the refrigerator, and then let come up to room temperature so that it doesn't make our yeast sad. We're gonna just add that in. The reason I like to dice it up is that it helps distribute it more evenly through the dough. And then just kind of fold it in there. Alright, now that we got our vegan-friendly margarine folded and incorporated into our dough, we're going to cover this up and move it to a warm place for about 5 minutes. Alright, now that our dough has had some time to rest, I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to divide this into 4. Alright, so we have 4 equally portioned pieces of dough. We're going to form these into our crusts and then top them off. I have a lightly greased baking sheet here. We're going to press our dough out into our desired size shapes for our pizza. Alright, now that they're formed, I like to take a tiny drizzle of olive oil on each one and give it a nice rub, and then I take a fork and kind of perforate it around. Okay. And now I've got some additional fennel seeds. I'm just gonna sprinkle just a little bit on and kind of pat those down into the dough. Alright, now we can start our toppings. I've got an Arugula Basil Pesto that I've created. The recipe for this pesto is in a separate video. You can check the link in the description at the bottom of the video right now, or at the end of the video if you'd like to make this pesto. Otherwise, you can always use a store-bought pesto. Make sure to check the ingredients of your pesto so that it's vegan friendly and that there is no cheese in your pesto. About a tablespoon and a half fits good on each one with the recipe that I've provided without leaving too much left over. Alright, now that we have our pesto spread, I like to add in a little fresh baby arugula. I have here some chickpeas. These are canned chickpeas that I drained off. I just like to plop those around in an even fashion, that way none are too close together and there's plenty on the pizza. Last but not least, before we put it in the oven, I have some tomato here. This is a beefsteak tomato that I bought at the local market. I cut it into some interesting and varying sizes and shapes. For this particular dish, uniform cuts aren't your friend. So I like to take a few larger pieces and kind of sporadically set them apart. This kind of adds eye appeal and interest to the dish. Alright, that doesn't look half bad. We're going to throw this in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes on 425 degrees. Once this is all baked off, we're going to finish off with our plating. Basically how I know my pizza is done, we have some slight charring on the tips of some of the tomatoes. I'm able to actually hold it and it stays together. The bottom has browned ever so slightly. So I'm going to give this a standard pizza cut, and then I'm going to move it to a plate and we're going to garnish it up. Okay, so I've got some fresh baby arugula. Just going to spread that out, sprinkle a few of these pieces on. Add a little more color and a little more texture. And here I have some cooked off wheat berries. You cook this similar to rice, and it's another good whole grain. This is optional, and I like to serve these warm on top of our pizza. And there we have it, delicious, whole wheat, vegan-friendly pesto pizza. For a list of ingredients, make sure to check out the description. Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out the video. I really appreciate it. Make sure to let me know what you thought down below in the comments. There's also a link to my channel. I wanted to use this as an opportunity to talk to you guys. I want to try and stay dedicated to producing some sort of content every week. For the people that actually got this far and is watching the end of this video, you're awesome and I love you and thank you. It's really cool to put content out on the internet and have other people check them out, and hopefully I showed somebody a cool recipe that helps them out in their lives. I get such great comments from you guys and it's so great to hear from you. That's why I always mention to leave a comment down below. So anything you want to see, a certain day you want to see it, a certain time you want to see it, make sure you tell me time zones, because I live in Wisconsin and I gotta be able to understand where you're at. Thank you so much for watching. I've said that like a bajillion times, but I'm truly grateful. The true motivator for making videos is you guys, besides my passion for food. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Hashtag woot.